Welcome to In Edina, a program about the people, places, and activities all in the city of Edina. I'm your host, Lillian McDonald. We bring you this broadcast from Wellsian Fitness Club in Edina, Fitness After 50. And joining us to talk about the concept, owner of Wellsian, Susie Borbum. Welcome to In Edina.
Well, thank you very much for
cool
coming
place.
and shooting here.
I love it.
Well, it's very unique.
You don't look a day over 50.
Well, I'm actually days over 60.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Mm-hmm. You are fit, and you have fitness as a part of your work, but you're also your belief. How did Wellsian get started?
Well, my husband and I have worked in long-term care most of our career, and we actually had another fitness business some years ago, and now we stepped into this demographic of being over 60, and we felt like we need to have a place in our country for those of us 50 and over that is not intimidating. It offers a lot of supervision, and we can customize it to fit maybe a chronic condition or maybe a rotator cuff tear, maybe a knee replacement, but we need a place just for us.
You know, fitness clubs have, evolutionized over time and time and time. And now our society is sort of, building and reinforcing the importance of reducing obesity,
Yes.
more exercise, and it does kind of fit by age categories. In your youth, you're trying to look your best and connect socially. No different after 50.
No, and we really have a lot on the line at this point. There are 10,000 people turning 65 every day in our country, and so we really feel like Wellsian in the end can help America and save on healthcare costs, because we want to be healthy and active and still do all the things we want to do.
Well, and our bodies don't keep up as fast as they do after 50.
That's right. If someone doesn't continue strength training, they lose about 10% of muscle mass a decade. And so when somebody gets to be 70, they may only have 30 to 40% of muscle mass left. So they're very weak. And then a fall can happen. And the biggest predictor of nursing home care is quadricep strength, leg strength.
Really? How so?
Well, if somebody can't get out of a chair, they become wheelchair bound, or they have weak arms, they can't even get up out of a chair, and then they go to the bathroom or whatever, take a fall.
Yeah, and that's not in a fitness program, that's just every day getting
Right.
along, in and out of the car.
Right.
Especially in this climate, walking
Yes.
in icy situations.
Well, the encouraging news is it's never too late. Our oldest member is 89, our youngest is 50, and the muscle group responds to strength training. And a lot of people walk, which is a good aerobic exercise, but it's strength training that is going to keep the muscle mass strong, keep the person walking, going upstairs, getting out of a chair, driving.
Now, you're
keeping
not
their
talking
independence.
about building biceps, are you? Or you?
Well, we have some members who are that toned and fit.
Really? Great.
Yeah, they really want to maintain that, and our air-powered equipment can do that because we can set it for that person. Teresa's 54 years old, been a runner, very fit all of her life, and so her weight is set quite high so that she continues building muscle mass and toning. We may have an 86-year-old person who's very deconditioned, and we start them at 1 pound.
And you're right, it's never too late to start.
No.
I mean, you're trying to lose weight or rehab after a surgery. You work with those individuals too.
We do. Our manager at Wellsian is a registered nurse, and we take a health history when someone signs up. And so many times someone will have a knee replacement, hip replacement, rotator cuff tear. After they finish their acute rehab, then they come to Wellsian, and we can talk to the physical therapist, and we customize that program so it's safe and they strengthen their muscle.
And it continues, after you have your surgery, after you've done rehab, you've done your physical therapy, then you're on your own.
Right.
And I don't know about you, but sometimes when I'm left to my own devices, I don't always make time to get it done unless I have a place to go.
That's
then
right.
Then it's, then I have to because I have a class at a certain time.
Yes, that's right. Or you have people here that care about you. If we don't see one of our members in 2 weeks, we call them. Are you okay? Are you on vacation? Give us a call. We want to know what's happening with you.
And that's a difference over 50. And that's important. You're talking also about the social connection here too. This is not just a fitness club. This is a fitness plan and a fitness family in many ways.
Well, one of the things that we talk about at Wellsian is belong to strong. and everybody needs a sense of belonging, and so that's why we have a social area where people can have a cup of coffee, meet a new friend. We're Wi-Fi connected. We have puzzles that people have different reasons that they come to Halcyon. Some people need to get stronger. Some people need to find new friends. Some people need a place to go.
Is it just equipment, or do you offer classes as well?
We do offer Tai Chi and yoga, but our important focus is on not only aerobic flexibility, balance training, but strength training is what is really critical to keep people independent.
Keep that core strength.
Yes.
Your equipment is very unique as well, right?
It is. Mark Richards is a physical therapist, and he is our consultant that wrote all of our protocols and programs. It's based on the American College of Sports Medicine guidelines, and our equipment for strength training is air-powered.
Okay.
And so it's very smooth. Somebody doesn't have to do a great effort to get it started.
So there's not the jolting or the
No.
weights of plopping them on, taking them off.
Exactly. And the great part is we can customize it for where that person is.
Wow, Susie, sounds like a fantastic operation. You have two sites, one in Bloomington,
Yes.
one here in Edina.
Yes.
And you're hoping to grow. And I wish you the best of luck. I thank you for joining
Thank
us
you very
on Edina.
much.
Well, fitness takes time, effort, and energy, but sometimes you may get hurt, and there's a way to prevent an injury and also take care of one. And here to tell us how to do just that, Dr. Jamie Peters from Fairview Sports and Orthopedic Care. Welcome to Edina.
Thank you for inviting me.
It's fascinating, the whole fitness industry now and the movement to get healthy and to stay fit, but sometimes as we get older, we get hurt. Life just happens.
It's true.
So how can we get involved in our care before and maybe after?
Well, I think the primary issue is to listen to your body. So if your joints are starting to hurt, there's a specific joint that's hurting, I think trying to figure out what's going on before a potential problem gets worse is a really important thing to do.
And that's where genetics comes in, because some of these illnesses or situations like arthritis is in the family, you may inherit it.
Absolutely true. So people do inherit genes which will potentially, if your parents have degenerative arthritis or osteoarthritis, or actually that's damage to the cartilage in the joints, it could predispose you to have earlier problems with your joints. So knowing what your family history is very important. And then using but not abusing is really a very important point for people who are managing those delicate joints.
And that helps you with prevention as you're getting into a fitness program so that you can keep your core body and your muscles strong. What if you have an injury? How can you use a facility like this for appropriate care?
Well, I think primarily you need to know what's going on with the injury. So seeing a professional, seeing a sports medicine physician like me or one of my colleagues is very important in terms of diagnosing, because it could be something within the structure of the joint, like a cartilage within the joint, or the lining, which is a smooth surface, which is very delicate. And then once that diagnosis is made, actually getting a whole therapy program in place where you can strengthen the right muscles around the joint will protect the joint over time so that you're less likely to have more advanced damage to the joint.
Now, joints like knees, elbows, wrists, they're meant to be used and not abused, and there is a balance there, right?
That is a great point. So we found that people who don't exercise as much, more on the couch, potentially will have more problems with their joints. So we do like to encourage people to use their joints. It keeps more fluid within the joint environment, which helps nutrition within the joint. But on the same side, if you're just hit the treadmill running and high impact, that may damage the joints. So I think the statement you made, which is use but don't abuse, is a great thing for people to keep in mind in terms of managing their joints over time.
Now, this may seem like an odd question, but how does this fitness and this body work help the mind?
Well, there's a strong correlation. So exercise helps a lot of things. So it not only helps the joints, but it helps your thinking. It gets the blood flowing in the brain. Helps with decreasing depression, especially this time of year. We're in the middle of winter, and it's good to get that exercise.
Vitamin D.
Yeah, it gets those. I don't know if you've heard of endorphins, but those endorphins get going when you exercise, and you have a better state of mind. So there's lots of good reasons, and a couple others are people with diabetes do better with exercise. Their blood sugar is lower. It's better for heart disease, keeps the heart moving, so lots of reasons to exercise.
It seems like the older we get, we go through a progression of fitness levels. Is there ever a time when you have to stop, excluding an injury, or can you just really keep right on going?
Well, hopefully there's never a time to stop. It's just you have to monitor and manage. So, and we work collaboratively. So as physicians, especially at our office, we work directly. Each physician has an athletic trainer that they're paired with. So, when I leave the room, the athletic trainer comes in, goes over exercises. We use other facilities such as this facility. We use physical therapists also as a collaborative team to help patients so that they know what's the best thing they can do to manage their joints over time.
It's not just exercise, too. What you put into your body in terms of nutrition also makes a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. So nutrition is really important to get the right fruits, vegetables, get adequate protein, keep those muscles strong. All that will enhance the environment within the joints. In contrast, people that are eating more of the junk side and not getting those valuable nutrients potentially could have more advanced disease within the joints just because of what they're eating or not eating.
I know too that seniors tend to add up with medications. I mean, we're taking something for arthritis, or they may be coming back from something and they're on medication to help ease the pain. How do you manage all of that?
We try to minimize the medicine. We try to maximize those things that are non-medicine, such as the strengthening of the right muscles around damaged joints, keeping the heart going. But some people have more advanced problems and more pain. We do have different drugs that we can use to help with pain. We also have medicines that we can put right into the joint. There's several different types of categories of medicines that can relieve pain and also help people function over time, and potentially then maximize the time before someone might need a joint replacement.
And reduce the odds of surgery with prevention and care.
Exactly.
But to have a plan in advance so that you're ready, and if you have an accident, you have a team to help you through the process.
Good point.
Well, thank you so much, Doctor, for
My pleasure.
joining
Thanks
us
for
on
inviting me.
Edina. Stay healthy.
Thank you. I'll try, and we'll work with our patients so that they stay healthy too.
Edina Senior Center opened in 1969. The programs there are thriving, and they continue to keep our senior community alive and well with lots of activities. Joining us to talk about the Edina Senior Center, Sue Weigel, director, and also Scott Smith, who is running the Bridge program there.
You're right.
Very active. Welcome to Edina.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us. Tell us a little bit about the activities. And the focus of the center is really to improve health, wellness, social stimulation, connectivity.
You've just said it all. Anything that seniors might need, we seem to be able to offer them. We have, the City of Edina it's under the City of Edina, I should mention that too.
Sure.
Under the Park and Recreation Department, and the city has a contract with Senior Community Services, so they offer us a social worker to have there, and also someone to help with health insurance. And then we also have a contract with Bloomington Public Health. So with them, we're able to offer, flu shot clinic. We have blood pressure checks. We have hearing tests. So that's been very nice. And they will also help us bring speakers in.
Nice.
Now, in addition to that, we have the most fun, recreational kind of activities, which is really driven by the seniors themselves. Whatever they think they want to do, we try to offer to them.
Yeah, tap dancing.
Oh, tap dancing, yes.
Softball.
Softball.
But it's important to get involved and have a place to get involved, especially in the wintertime when activities, it's tough to go out because it's cold.
You'd be amazed. They may stay home a day when it's been snowing and, the roads aren't good, but Edina gets them cleaned up so thoroughly that they're back. They've got to get that bridge game in. Even if it isn't their normal day of playing, they'll come in and they'll make sure they get it in, or their exercise, or whatever it might be.
You make a good point, because when we get older, and we may have situations where we've lost a spouse, or we may be going through some tough times with an illness. The center can offer support.
Absolutely.
Someone else to talk to about
That's
it.
very true. That's part of what I do. I try to get them back in if they've lost a spouse or if their partner's gone south as a snowbird, I'll pick up the phone and call them and get them another partner to come in. I probably have 4 or 5 people come in single every game, and I partner them up just to keep the flow and keep them coming, because I don't want them sitting at home watching TV.
And you know, it's just hard. Sometimes
That's
we get
right.
into a routine, but it's really helpful when someone reaches out. I'm glad you do that.
Yeah.
Bridge is a big game over at the Senior Center. You've got lots of games going on.
We have at least 4 games going a week. We have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, soon to have Thursday, some form of bridge going on.
So the idea is you said that if the senior comes up with the idea, you use volunteers to help implement the programs, right?
Yeah. For years, our former bridge instructor, Louise Rossini, who's familiar to many people in Edina, begged the people to pay duplicate bridge. And they were all afraid of it. All of a sudden, we got these, I don't know, it was men. It really was men that came in and said, do you mind, can we get 3 tables of duplicate bridge? So we said, sure, let's try it. The next thing you know, we got 17 tables, men and women playing.
Wow.
So I said,
Yeah.
Louise is smiling from heaven. She's so happy. You know, that's really
Sure,
wonderful.
absolutely.
And it's really the game to play.
I've seen tap dancing over there too, which again
Yes.
is good. It's mind and
That's right.
body and social work. That's coming together. Everything is coming together. Is there an age requirement to be a part of the Senior Center?
Well, we say 55.
okay.
You know.
What about a fee? Is there much of a cost?
$17 a year. And
That's a low membership
yes,
fee.
and for
That's
a couple, any
reasonable.
2 people that live at the same residence, it's $27.
And so it's open, what, Monday through Friday, right?
Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30.
What about holidays? What about folks that may be alone for the holidays? Do you do anything around those ideas?
We don't, but they may get together with one another just by making friends. You know, each of the groups that meets, whether it's an exercise group, the tap dancers, as you've mentioned, you know, they will get together and go to lunch afterwards, and I'm sure that for the weekends and on the holidays, they may take in a movie or invite another person over. So it's a great place to make friends.
And we have home games going on too, that are usually started by membership of people that are members getting together.
So the bridge game carries on at
carries on at night.
Oh my gosh.
Carries on the weekend. You know, we have tournaments. We do a lot with it, and
That's important.
Yeah, it's getting people involved.
Nice, nice. Also, you mentioned earlier healthcare paperwork like Medicare D or getting involved, taxes. You have programs like that too.
Yes, and right now we are offering free tax service. It's an AARP program, and we have about, I would say, I think 8 to 10 volunteers that come in on Mondays and Wednesdays and do taxes free. You know, nothing too complicated, but they are, you know, you are able to come over and get your taxes done.
But you know,
First
our
come,
plan, the
first
health
served.
plans change and the tax
Yep.
laws change
Yep.
and things come up and the paperwork, the legal language maybe get confusing for seniors. So you've got some help there as well. It's a nice resource.
Yep.
I want to thank you both for making that senior center. You've been there 33 years.
33 years, yeah.
That's a
It's
lot of
killing me.
work.
It's coming to an end.
No, it's great. I'm so glad you're there
Thanks.
to get this thing going and keeping
Yeah.
it going strong and keeping everybody involved in the card games and activities. It's an important part of everybody's life.
Thanks.
There comes a time as we get older where we need to make decisions. Should I stay in my home or is it time to move on? And where can I go? To help families with those delicate decisions, there's an organization here in Edina called Gentle Transitions. And joining us to talk about Gentle Transitions is co-owner Diane Bjorkman. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Welcome so much. Gentle Transitions, it's nationally known, right?
We are nationally known, probably the first in the country to do this type of service of assisting people through the whole process of making a move.
And this is about making a move because maybe managing my home is too much for me now as a senior citizen?
Lots of different reasons why people choose. Sometimes it's for security, sometimes it's for the maintenance, the fun of Minnesota winters that people get sick of. Sometimes it's for the socialization that people are looking for.
But the key is you want to try not to get into a situation where you absolutely have to move. There's much more choice when you plan ahead, right?
We see every day that people who plan ahead can have a lot more options and get in the right place earlier, kind of build those friendships and sense of community. So lots of pluses when people think ahead and get the resources also to kind of help them through the whole process.
Yeah.
to kind of support them.
It's more than just the senior involved, right? I mean, there may be children involved or other family members.
Typically about 70% of our calls come from the seniors, but actually about 30% then come from the children that are very involved with helping their parent through the process and trying to find some support through the process.
Diane, sometimes this is a tough conversation to have, but you help facilitate that dialogue, right?
Well, we do in essence because we make it possible. Sometimes the move can seem very daunting to people. So when the children maybe will have us come out and visit with them, people see there's a light at the end of the tunnel in getting to a place that they want to get to, maybe choose to move to, but the move itself is what's kind of the barrier in keeping them from getting to the next spot.
Yeah, it's the sifting and the sorting and the packing and the relocating and then the resifting and resorting. You handle all of that?
We handle all of that. I think from the original, when our company was first founded, we saw that the overwhelming piece is what do I do with all the things that are not going, that have been in my home for and have collected for 55 years. So that part we become kind of master resources in, should we have an estate sale? Can I take things to charities? Will you ship things to children? And organizing all of that for the things that are not going with to a new residence.
Does Gentle Transitions provide this kind of a service for just people here in Edina? Or?
No, we're a part of a national organization, so we help people very often who are moving from out of state here to be closer to their kids, or vice versa, moving to California. We've done about probably 5 moves to California this year, so we can find people like us from our national association. We can arrange the long distance movers, and then we do the piece on this end.
And if I need help for my parents in other states or my relative in another state, can you help connect someone here to there?
Oh, absolutely. Yep. We can again find through national organizations and even through our industry, we've gotten to know all the different types of services available, and we can connect people with the right spots and the right resources
How's
that they
the
need.
industry changing? Because there's more seniors now, more and more.
Yeah, senior move management, our particular industry has grown like crazy the last 8 years. Like I said, we're probably the first in the country 21 years ago, but with the demographic, it's growing, and it's such a support for people at that stage. I think people see the benefits and the gift it is to families to help people through that process. So there is growth,
And
definitely.
it may be helpful to have a third party come in and help folks sort through the differences of opinions and the emotions and the expenses involved. What does it cost to use a service like this?
Well, we go in and we do a complimentary estimate with every client. We'll very often get calls saying, just give me a general idea. And it's very challenging to do that because you can think of your parents' home or your grandparents or aunts and uncles. Everyone has such a different amount of things, different size. So it's always a complimentary visit where we give a written estimate for what that particular client wants us to assist with. Our generals are probably $1,500 to $2,500, might be an average ballpark for all of the clients that we moved last year. It kind of fits that. Now it goes to higher ends and there's lower end as well.
But it helps to know at least a middle ground.
Yeah.
Covered by insurance at all, or pretty much you're going to have to plan for that strategy as well?
Yeah, the majority of our clients pay, it's a private pay service. Occasionally it's covered by the senior's insurance provider if they're on elderly waiver. Occasionally trust departments pick up, case managers can get some assistance at times, but for the most part it's private pay.
Gentle Transitions. Thank you very much, Diane. Good luck to you.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank
for
you.
helping families make a change.
Thanks.
We hope you've enjoyed our broadcast on Fitness Over 50. Special thanks to Welcion for letting us bring you this program from their fitness club in Edina. Thanks to all of our guests and to you for watching. I'm your host, Lillian McDonald. You've been watching in Edina. Until next time, make it a great day.